how do you understand the organisation, its maturity, or maybe its desire for innovation to start driving that change?
I think for us, one of the things we're trying to do is change the way mining companies operate. We see a world where we have a much lower footprint, where we have less impact on, so we're more efficient in terms of what we do. We're more efficient from an energy perspective. We consume less water. We're a big drawer of fresh water in our operations. And to do that, we need to chart a future that involves new technologies. So I think for us, part of it are things that we see. We see things in adjacent industries, we see things through our supplier base, which we can use to make the company more efficient. And then some of them are charting this objective. We need to apply technologies to our business that don't exist at the moment. And this is one of the areas where cloud computing, the reach that we get from being able to scale up quickly and to do massive scale computations, there are opportunities that haven't presented to us before. So there's some areas where I think we have some significant opportunities to change the way that we operate. And some parts of that are led by the IT organisation. Generally the technologies we see that we can employ into our business to make it better are led their IT-led projects. And a lot of it is business-led, to the extent that they want to do things in a different way in future. You chart that backwards and we're an enabler for that process.
Is that a similar experience?
So for us, it's really customer-led. And I think, if you look at the consumer habits, people want personalisation. They don't call it personalisation, but they want everything to be tailored for them. They don't want to spend a lot of time searching or looking for their content. They want it to be presented to them. They want to be reminded about it. So it's keeping up with the new features that are required, alongside what I'd call the BAU features that you've got to develop as well. And in fact, one of the things that we were tossing around the other week is, do you need to have essentially two sets of development teams? One that's working on all of the new features that are being demanded by the customer, while you've got the kind of basic platform, hygienic stuff that you've got to do as well. So it's really challenging from that point of view.
And you mentioned there about business-led programs, and I was writing a piece last week about how that's increasing, and that CIOs and IT is becoming more brokerage. Do you find more of that actually you're working very closely in collaboration with your peers across the business to improve the business, because they've got some ideas and you've got some technology and you've got some ideas, and together you can come up with solutions?
I think absolutely. There's a portion of the role which is delivering the services you were yesterday more efficiently, and that can be done without really tight business engagement. But then if you're trying to provide new transformative technologies, you need to do that in lockstep with the business. So for a lot of the things that we're trying to do, particularly where you're taking something that you already do and wrapping it in data, doing some kind of product wrapping, or if we're trying to reach our customers or traders in a different way, that has to be at the core of the business. And my view is that it's okay to have different approaches to IT strategy where you're trying to digitalize an existing business. It's okay to have IT-led transformation. That's sometimes the most efficient way to go about it, and you see things that others don't. Where you're trying to transform your business, that really needs to be led by line of business. So in our industry, we'll provide a lot of the enabling technologies. We'll create development models that are fit for purpose to help deliver those capabilities that our business is seeking. But often they have to lead it. So we're doing, for instance, in our diamond business, we're doing an interesting industry-leading blockchain program, creating a single immutable ledger for diamonds that pass through our industry for all market participants. Fascinating project, but you couldn't do that as an IT project. You just wouldn't have the ability to connect the production components of our business and our customers in the same way. That needs to be led as a separate line of business.
And are your lines of business and IT teams working much more closely together?
Yeah, I mean, we are a technology sporting company, or a sporting technology company, and every day, we kind of have this debate of which one are we, and the truth is that they are both so very closely connected. It's difficult to separate them out. So, we were talking last week about the product service lifecycle, and we need to be able to link the product ideas all the way through to service delivery and ongoing improvement. And that means that you have all got to work very, very closely in that end-to-end life cycle.
How do you do that? Do you have an orchestration across your business that does that? Do you have a PMO that manages it? How do you give that effect?
Have we got it right yet? No, because we're moving so very, very quickly. I think the key is that we ensure that right at the beginning, when we come up with the ideas for the products, that we're already thinking about how we're going to implement that and support it, and that the conversation, and also very much the data we're going to extract from that, because very often data is forgotten about when you're thinking early on in the product life cycle. So it's just about, you know, collaboration and communication end to end. But it's really, really challenging at the pace we're moving at.
Sure. I think it's one of the areas we struggle as well. We tend to try to orchestrate it. Works better for us if we federate it through our lines of business, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. But there's a lot of activity in trying to understand what these new opportunities are, what the right technology fit is, and trying to get those projects to stick is a real challenge for us as well.
Yeah.